Well, everybody, it looks like it is that time again. Hell has once again frozen over. In other words, the Eagles are on tour. If hell really has froze over. Remember the video I did on Hotel California and the Eagles and how they had said they would never come back unless what? Hell froze over. Eagles added 6 new Hotel California tour dates. Eagles have added 6 new tour dates to their 2021 Hotel California tour, kicking things off a month earlier than originally scheduled at New York City Madison Square Garden. After 2 dates in New York, the band will play another pair of shows, each in Boston and Washington, D.C., and then continue as planned on the road up until October, where they finish the tour in San Francisco. Oh boy. The band will play the entirety of its chart-topping 1976 album at each performance, accompanied by an orchestra and a choir. They'll then transition to a second set of some of their biggest hits. I think that we were at the height of our powers, drummer Don Henley told Rolling Stone in 2016 about the making of Hotel California. Every band has a peak, and that was ours. And because of various factors, pressure to perform at peak level, pressure to deliver more of the same, the changing nature of the band dynamic, the constantly changing public tastes, etc., it was impossible for us to take the time off that we needed in order to get our heads together to remain a sense of perspective that we had lost. Let's go back in time a little bit to November 8th, 2014, when this article was posted. How the Eagles reunited for Hell Freezes Over. The Eagles' first reunion tour was a major shock to music fans who never thought they would play together again. But the next step was more in line with what every other band has done in such a situation. On November 8th, 1994, they released Hell Freezes Over. The initial end of the Eagles came with an epic meltdown at a show in Long Beach, California, often referred to as the Long Night at Wrong Beach. On July 31st, 1980, when Don Felder and Glenn Frey almost came to physical blows. Frey took issues with Felder's reply to Senator Alan Cranton with "You're welcome, I guess," after Felder was thanked for agreeing to perform a show in Cranton's honor. Though they kept it quiet for many months, afterwards the Eagles were done. Don Henley was categorically citing the old adage that the band would get back together when hell freezes over. Speaking to People in 1982, Frey remarked, "I just ruled out the possibility of putting the Eagles back together for a Lost Youth and Greed tour." Time, as the old saying goes, can heal all wounds. 4 months after appearing in a video for Travis Tritt's cover of Take It Easy, Henley, Frey, Felder, Joe Walsh, and Timothy Schmit agreed to perform live together for the first time in 14 years. A film studio in Burbank, California was booked, and over 2 days in April 94, the Eagles recorded an MTV special which resulted in the 11 live tracks found on Hell Freezes Over. The album contained fresh tracks of their classics, which included recasting Hotel California with acoustic guitars and Latin percussion. But the icing on the cake was the inclusion of the 4 new studio songs: Get Over It, Love Will Keep Us Alive, The Girl from Yesterday, and Learn to Be Still. Timed perfectly to coincide with the holiday season, the project ended up being a huge success, topping the charts for 2 weeks. Ultimately, Hell Freezes Over sold more than 9 million copies, and the video Historically speaking, when hell freezes over. This was published 10 years ago. If you say that something will happen when hell freezes over, you mean that it will never happen. For example, when the Eagles broke up in 1980, the band members stated that the band played together again when hell freezes over. Well, hell hasn't froze over by the time 1994 rolled around. However, in 94, the Eagles, consisting of Don Henley, Glenn Frey, Joe Walsh, Don Felder, and Timothy Schmit, regrouped and released a live album entitled Hell Freezes Over. Of course, the Eagles were premature with their announcement about hell, as the U.S. weather station in Hell, Michigan, can attest to the fact that in all the years the government has been tracking the weather in Hell, it's only frozen over once, and that was in 2004, 10 years after the Eagles' live album. Back in October 27th, 1928, the Afro American newspaper published in Baltimore a story written by William Pickens reporting on Oscar DePriest, who was allegedly forced to quit the race for Congress in Chicago, was published. The article read in part, if he were guilty and afraid, he would agree to quit under condition that the indictment be dropped. But to their surprise, when they went to him and said, now won't you withdraw, he replied, you go to hell, and when hell freezes over so you can skate around on it. Bring me proof of that, and maybe I'll think about quitting. The man has more plain courage than any other politician I have ever met. He laid all his cards on the table at a meeting in Chicago on October 14th. He told just how he stood, frankly stating his opposition to some of the most powerful leaders, said in bold but brief outline what he would do as congressman and what he wouldn't. Back in November 23rd of 1863, during the Civil War, Second Lieutenant Richard B. Dobbins from Company D of the 7th Tennessee Cavalry Battalion was captured at Pulaski, Tennessee. Records show that he was sent to Camp Chase, was asked when he was going to take the oath, and his reply was, when hell freezes over. He was released by special order by President Lincoln on April 23, 1864. While the earliest recorded version of When Hell Freezes Over appears to be 1864, the manner in which it was used implies that it was a common saying among those in the southern states. It is not unreasonable to believe that the expression dates back to at least the 1850s, if not farther back.